All right, trigger warning. This is horrific. So, I've been to jail 3 times since I've been in this house, even though I am clearly the victim of this predator, Martin Igbino Gun, Bax. They're the criminals, the horrific criminals. Martin is an ex-con who has already been to jail for brutalizing women. So, and I've been to jail 3 times defending myself, literally defending myself from his attack, from his rape attempt. And that is absolutely legal. That is the law of this fucking land. We can defend ourselves in our own home. That's the law. So the police, the law enforcement has been always on the wrong side. And we need to know what the law is, because whatever our law enforcement is doing with our own tax dollars, by the way, we are following the law. I'm following the law, and I've been to jail 3 times for following the law. Whereas the predator, the criminal, Bax, haven't been to jail at all in this year, where I've been in extreme danger. That's important. It's important to know what the law is and who is actually following the law and who are the real criminals. Okay, but I will say that every time I've been to jail, it's been a very interesting experience, and I've met some really interesting women, and kind of have most of whom did not belong in jail. Most of whom are not the criminals. The criminals are the people who put them in jail. So, I will say the jail at Santa Rita Jail, the people who work there are incredibly nice. They're very sweet. I mean, every person I encountered there was sweet and kind of went out of their way to be sweet and kind and respectful to the prisoners. That was a nice surprise. Anyway, but when I was there most recent time, there was a woman who had been arrested at the same time, and she looked like she was 12. She was undernourished. And she was actually close to 40. I mean, she was tiny, absolutely undernourished. And she explained her situation to me. So she is being held as a prisoner in her home with her predator ex-husband, or with her prisoner husband. He's a software engineer. He has cameras in every room in the house to track her. She's not allowed online. She is absolutely enslaved, horrifically enslaved in her own home. And he was pissed off about something, who knows what, this nasty sociopath. And he called the police. They came and said that she was, attacking him. Just made shit up. And the police came and arrested this tiny little woman because of what he said, this sociopath. This didn't investigate at all, or didn't care what the real situation was. Who knows what's happening? She has a daughter, too, who is also trapped in this horrific situation. So I spoke with her, and she told me that her friends have told her she needs to kill this guy for her own safety. And by law, she's totally entitled to do so. She is absolutely entitled to defend her life in her own home. But she says, she doesn't feel like that's morally right. So I would never advocate murder in any situation, really, except maybe if your life is in extreme danger. And clearly hers is. I mean, she doesn't really have a life because of this predator in her home. And the law enforcement is clearly on the wrong side, because they arrested her, not the predator. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Like, there are women horrific. Oh, here's one more thing. So when I was being, the charges were dropped. Every time I've been to jail, the charges were dropped. They don't want me in a court, right? Because in a court of law, I've got all the evidence that says that I'm innocent, right? Not only am I innocent, but I am in extreme danger. So they drop the charges every time. And they've let me out. And so when they let me out, she came out at the same time, and I was so angry about what's been happening to this poor little tiny woman. And I told the prison guard, I said, you know what's happening with her? And I explained the whole situation. I could tell she's in silent hell, right? No one is speaking up for her. And I think just the fact that I was telling someone what was really happening to her felt good. She didn't say anything, but I could just feel her vibrating. Thank you for telling the truth. And I told him the situation. And you know what he said? This just insanity, right? Oh, well, sounds like she needs to get a good lawyer. Like, this is a lie men are telling themselves. We can't get lawyers. I can't even get a lawyer for a case where the lawyer would make tens of millions of dollars. It's an easy win. Like, it's life-changing money. I still can't get a lawyer. Of course, this poor little woman who's not even allowed online can get a lawyer, and I explained that to him. And then he just basically silenced me. He said, I'm going to bring you back to the jail if you don't shut up. Typical male, right? They don't want to know what's really happening to women, but not to men in this country. Lawyers are not an option for us most of the time. So I'm just going to throw this question out to all of you. Does this woman who is horrifically trapped in her own home and law enforcement is on the wrong side have the legal right to kill her predator, her imprisoner? Does she have the legal right to do that in America? Just think about that. Just throwing it out there.